All right, going long Nasdaq here, looking for higher prices. We originally entered long prior to the 750 810 macro, and we got stopped out. But because we manage our risk, we're risking roughly, I believe, 15 handles on that trade, and we had gotten stopped out. But because our risk was managed, I saw another opportunity to enter long. So my whole thesis of this trade was pretty much we had traded down and taken out, what was it, the 515, 524 relative equal lows from London. And it was right prior to that macro, which is exactly what I want to see. I want to see a low being taken out. And we get a rejection block, which I don't have labeled there, but I'm keeping an eye on. And we have a bullish inversion fair value gap. I entered long on the bullish inversion fair value gap, and I'm targeting the relative equal highs that formed between 7 o'clock and 7:30. So I see that as a nice target, a nice terminus, low-hanging fruit objective. So that's where I have my target set and my eyes set. Today is NFP, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry, not NFP. Is it NFP? FOMC. So I didn't want to trade during the morning session. I was open to trade after 2:30, but on FOMC, it's either I trade, in the pre-market, or I'm gonna trade after 2 p.m. But I'll be at work at 2 p.m. so I'm not gonna. I more than likely won't be able to trade. So my only opportunity today was really the pre-market. So price is trading back into that inversion fair value gap. My stop is placed below the rejection block. We get a little bit of a deep retracement here. Price is coloring out the lines, but we get a immediate reaction to the upside, and we don't close below that inversion fair value gap. So that to me is bullish. We're getting nice displacement here. And just what I want to see, we have that 747 short-term high being taken, which is exactly what I want to see. Nice energetic move above. Also on this trade, I was looking at the sub 1 minute time frames, and you could see that trade setup being played across the 45 second, the 30 second, the 15, and the 5 second as well. So everything on the higher time frame was looking bullish as well. The only thing I was a little worried about was the 15 minute, but eventually the 15 minute flipped bullish mid trade, which was nice. So now to the left of price, we have a group of SIBIs. You have some, I would kind of just, whenever I see a grouping of SIBIs like that, I try to just combine them together into one whole SIBI. So I want to see price work into that. I want to see price dig into that and stay in the upper half of those SIBIs. That to me will signify that we're disrespecting bearish PD arrays. And right here, what I labeled is a bullish suspension block on the 1 minute. I adjust my stop, reduce some of my risk, and this is exactly what I want to see. Beautiful displacement upwards. I want to see energetic green candles move towards my target. Now we're working on the top of that SIBI, and I want that SIBI to be used as an inversion fair value gap. This is on one of my lucid evals. Looking to I've been passing them really fast, so kind of have something set up where I look for, you know, 28 to like 32 handles. It's something that I can easily hit. And as long as I'm managing my risk correctly and I'm risking, you know, roughly 15 to 20 handles per trade, then I'm generally in a good place. Like today, for example, I took that loss initially, but I was a little early to the move. I should have been a little bit more patient, and I got stopped out. But I managed my risk, so very, very, very important. I try to give myself at least 3 opportunities to pass these evals, 3 to 4 opportunities to pass them before I potentially blow a eval. So I think that's fair, especially if I'm, you know, I like to trade minis on the eval stage. So now the price of the movement, the volatility is frozen on TradingView, but. And here I'm just leaving a little smiley face because everything on all the time frames is looking beautiful. I like how we had traded down, if you notice, to that suspension block, and notice how we never penetrated it. Notice how we have 2 wicks that dig into the top half and then immediately reject. That's signature what you want to see from suspension block. You know, ICT likes to say whenever you see a suspension block and you see that, that's what you want. That's the reaction that you want from a suspension block. You want it to you want to see an energetic push from that suspension block. And we just missed our limit order by about a tick. But not shaking out here. Everything is still looking in my favor. Everything on the sub-minute, 1 minute time frames, as well as the 5 minute, the higher time frame, everything is still bullish. So I'm just being patient. I'm not panicking here. Just letting the trade play out. At this point, the only thing I can control is what I'm willing to lose. And you'll see me in a little bit move my stop up just below the consequent encroachment of that suspension block. But I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. We're staying calm, just chilling, watching price do its thing, watching price deliver. You could also consider this a order block that we're just trading right above. I didn't want to clog up my chart, so I don't have it annotated, but and now at this point we're digging into a 3 minute bullish fair value gap. So that's the benefit of these higher time frames, of cycling through your time frames, because the old Michael would have looked at this and started panicking, would have seen that big dark down candle and would have started panicking. But when you cycle to the higher time frames, you're just realizing that price is just, rebalancing, tapping into an efficiency, and then continuing towards your objective. So that's something that has helped me. I've said it before on these recaps, that has helped me tremendously. I would say that might be one of the biggest things that's helped me this year, 2026, is just looking at all the time frames, not being glued just to the 1 minute or the 15-second, having an overall picture of the higher time frames, the sub 1 minutes, the 5 minutes, the 2 minutes, the 3 minutes. It all helps. And there's our terminus. See you next time.